It's Michael the Mechanical here today, and I'm still stressed out, and you can still see there's no Triton here. You know, looking around this yard, no Triton. Now, I've already gotten an idea of what the quote would be. I still have not been quoted for work, and because of the stuff I've heard, I wouldn't discredit this company, but at the moment they are doing restructuring and stuff. And I'm not going to say who they are, because I don't want anyone to get mad or go after them or say stuff or whatever. But I am going to say that there's a level of, you know, there's some circumventing going on, and it's a big problem. Circumventing is when you're going around the problem, you know, you're going circles, or you're transferring the blame onto someone else. That is instances where circumventing is occurring. With this case of circumventing, there is a problem, the timing belt issue that they see, and for 30-ish days, maybe less than 30-ish days, they've been saying, talking about this problem, saying, oh yeah, we're working on it. I just went there to see what's been actually done to the car, and the only things that I can tell you that I actually noticed with my two eyes, there's one thing I didn't actually notice and I didn't look, so I apologise for not seeing that, and I should check it, but I haven't checked the fueling system, so I don't know what's been done with the fuel pump and the fueling system, blah blah blah, that stuff. What I have seen is the car is in the same state, essentially, that I sent it there in. It's in the same state that I last went there in, and it's also got the different spring. The spring has been swapped, because the original spring that came off that engine was disgusting, and it was causing them issues with putting on a new belt, and that was not okay. Went down there for 15-ish, you know, I was down there for 30 minutes, but for 15-ish minutes we worked on the car and looked at it and checked it out, found the problem, and it was identified, and we sort of put the belt on and checked it all out. We checked the belt, we checked everything, and it's all seemingly alright, and there's no problems with it. But now, I've gone down there yesterday, and what I've seen, the radiator is not on the ute anymore, it's in the cab of the car now. The other things I've noticed about the whole situation with the car is that nothing has changed. The timing assembly hasn't been done. There's no progress. No timing covers are on the car. There is absolutely nothing changed since the last time I saw it about 30-ish days ago. It'd be probably less than 30-ish days. I went there, saw the problem. The same problem has been persevering for the rest of the month, and nothing's been said or done about quoting it, or how hard it's going to be to fix, or what. They say, oh, we've got to diagnose it. Well, they haven't done the job, and they have been they've been doing other stuff as well. And my dad has been driving by there almost every day of the week, and he says they're getting cars in, they're getting cars out. But why the hell is your car still not getting done? This is the problem that people don't realise, is even though I freaking think that company is great and awesome and stuff, I'm just looking at this brick, look at all the cracks in it, that brick is exploding from the inside out. Even though people say that I'm not a professional or nothing, the truth is I'm not as experienced as these people, and these people look at the finer details that I wouldn't normally look at. That is what makes them professionals. But you can have all the knowledge in the world, but you can do nothing with it. They have people that have been incompetent, not working autonomously. They are literally waiting for someone else to tell them what to do. There is a lack of leadership somewhere in the chain that is causing more issues. And the reason I say leadership is because people are looking, why are people looking up for someone else to tell them what to do? And why is it that they're not, when they are doing work on the car, why is it they're not achieving anything? Why are they not doing anything? Oh yeah, they're working on it. They haven't done anything. And the thing that's frustrating is I've already quoted myself up to figure out how much it would actually cost me. It cost me at minimum, at best now, $1,330. It's $30 over what my budget actually is. But they haven't given me a quote to tell me how much it's going to cost them to do the work. And I feel like, at this point, they're telling me that they're going to call me Monday, or at least it's the impression I get. If they do not call me Monday, I'm going to call them Tuesday. I'm going to say, right, you're going to write me up an invoice for what work's been done. I'll pay you for that. I'll pay for a tow truck. That car's going somewhere else, and that somewhere else is back home again. We're going to end up having to finish off the work and taking on the little points that they've actually mentioned about the car and try to fix it based on what information they've essentially given for the diagnosis. I'm just looking at the brickwork, and it's interesting when you look at stuff and it's not all aligned or anything, it's perfect. But yes, I'm going to have to look at the car myself and finish the job off, because people, in my eyes, and the reason I'm more stressed out than ever in some ways is because everyone is incompetent in my eyes. There are people in the workplace that I work alongside, great, doing their jobs well, and I'm happy with what they do. And then when I do it, I sometimes outperform others, or I perform to the standard, and sometimes, in very rare cases, I actually underperform because I can't adapt quick enough. And that problem is one where I pretty much will say, hey, I don't feel like I can do it as well as others. I don't think I should be doing this job. I should be doing other jobs that I'm actually good at, or I need further training here. And when I say that, it seems like it comes across as if I don't want to do the work or something stupid. And that is so stupid, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm not competent at doing this job, and I either need more training or something else. And I'm not sure why I struggled with some jobs and not others, and why I outperform in other jobs and not others, sort of thing. This is one of those jobs where right now I've lost my last job. The person who called me was incompetent in their role and dealing with the situation, and they mishandled it. There was miscare, and now I don't have a job there at the moment, and that's because of the stress and stuff. I've got contact with someone else. Maybe, but I'm just ranting, Mum, because of all the crap with how they're incompetent. You know? Mum knows they're incompetent. There's just so many people who are incompetent, and people don't see what I see. You guys don't get to see what I see, and get to see what I have to deal with, and the scope and the magnitude of things. Because even though I can't always point things out, and I can't always, say things correctly, it doesn't mean that the problem isn't there. If I can say circumvent, you damn well sure know there is a problem, and it's one that now needs addressing and needs evaluating, and they need to figure it out. There is circumventing in this business. Whether it's if it's just my car, or if there's other cars involved, I haven't got a clue. But for now, I am getting circumvented yet again. I had stress, I made them aware of the stress, and they're circumventing me and my stress. And I've been trying to be calm and relaxed and just work well with them. They've been nice to me, and I appreciate that. It doesn't mean I'm not going to do a business with them again, but it does damage their credibility in my eyes. And if they do it with others, they damage their own credibility. Okay? Car across the road, cool. So, what I'm going to be doing now is, right now I've been, getting my hands a bit grubby, but you can't see because I've washed them. I've been looking at all this stuff here on the ground to try and work out what's wrong with the bottom balance shaft belt, because for some reason the balance shaft is forward instead of on the pulley, and it doesn't seem right. It's like, oh yeah, it's going to fall off. And when they touched it and they grabbed it and like, there's a bit of play there, I don't like that, got to figure out what's wrong there. They're pointing out potentially that the plate itself is bent, and there's no way the plate's bent. Come on, the plate can't be bent, and if it is bent, then okay, it's a manufacturing fault. Who did I get it through? What brand is it? What is it? And consumer rights stuff, I can get a replacement or a refund based on that part that I bought. I got enough receipts, got enough documentation. I can probably go find it and then do it. Essentially, be done with it. Oh my god, though, this is just annoying and stressful and costly, because it's costing me time without a car. It's costing me time worrying about it. It's costing me in finances to wait for it. I mean, if I get a job tomorrow, I literally can't use my car because it's at the repairers. I'd have to use this car. And Mum, I actually owe Mum a repair job because that is from a pressure washer. Surprise, surprise. And I did it there. I tried to rip the paint. I tried to rip the paint off somewhere else. Couldn't rip the paint off. So that was a weird situation where I ripped the paint off that piece of plastic. That sucks. But it would cost about $200 to $300 just to repair that strip. And I'll pay for that just to make Mum happy and to get this right, and pay for that, and then pay for this corner which is damaged. Man, the amount of damage that is at 80 kilometers an hour opposed to other cars at lower speeds, man, I did less damage than anyone. I avoided a major collision. A worse accident. If I was slow, I would have had a bigger accident. If I was faster, I could have avoided it. But unfortunately, the delay in the accelerator pedal is why that accident happen the way it did. Even though the other guys, the other car person said that they have bad brakes. And that's probably why they haven't chased up any, you know, money or anything, especially at 80 k's an hour. That was just a clip, and I was lucky. I rectified my mistake in some ways by accelerating as soon as I saw there was going to be an accident or something. You know, trying to overpredict. Man. So, I'm just pointing out to you guys, my car's not done. They're not touching it. They're not doing anything. They're just looking at it. Man, my car must be good to look at. But there's like 10 grand in hardware there. Plus, I mean, you probably could only sell the car for 5 grand or less, because people only pay 1 grand, 2 grand. These people are rip-offs. They're slug and lettuce, man. The car has 10 grand's worth of value in just the hardware alone, brand new stuff. That hasn't really even, well, the suspension's been used, that's $1 grand. The engine cost about 8 grand, not including injection pump, I believe, unless I rectify that, and it costs 10 grand with the injection pump. But you know, you get close enough to the 10 grand figure that it's 10 grand. It's $10,000 worth of hardware that just is rolling there. It's got new brakes in it, and the brakes calipers have been rebuilt since they were not adjusting as they should have, and causing the brakes to wear out unevenly. There was the brakes wearing out really quickly, so I had to buy new brakes. And then the drums, replace the drums, put in new brake shoes, all fixed, all done. Well done. There's a lot more stuff I could probably go on and on about, but for now, that's pretty much it. Even a brand new alternator in that car. So, 10 grand is what I should be able to easily sell that car for if people knew how much money's been spent on it, how much value is in it. And if someone said, oh, I'll give you 5 grand for it. If someone wants to give me 1 grand for it, I will tell them to go somewhere else. I wanted my car, and that's why I put the money into it. I put the money into it because I wanted that car, and I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to get rid of it. So someone coming up to me and wanting to buy it off me, they might as well be offering me equal or greater value for it in some cases. And then people are going to be laughing at that and saying, yeah, it's not worth that. Well, in my eyes, it's worth more. I've already put the work into it, put the effort into it. I've got all the spare parts, and I got the experience and stuff that goes with it. And I know enough about this car that I bought extra engines. Spare parts, man. Something goes wrong, I got a lifetime of expectancy for that, and I've got the suppliers, I've got everything. And these people who want to buy it is just to drive it, run it into the ground, lose the value, potentially try to break it on purpose to try and say, Consumer Rights Act, I want my money back. This car broke down, this car has this issue. I still have $1 grand in suspension parts to install on the car. $1 grand. $1 grand. They're in the drawer, obviously, but, you know, I got some parts right here. There's suspension parts. Not like you can just go out and buy them from any store. You have to order them in, man. And then, I got to do the front of the suspension, and then it's 10 grand. It's 10 grand in parts. 10 grand in hardware and stuff. So I'm going to leave it at that. Get off this video. Stop doing this. Focus on something else for now. Fix this gate up because the thing doesn't work properly, and yeah, kick the belts. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Michael Mechanical, out.